Hello everyone, I'm Shikha Parikh from Sri Vasisht Vidyalaya. Today I come here with the new topic of Social Studies Class 5 that focuses on India wins freedom, the era between 1915 to 1947. So let's start. First we are going to learn about Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, as we all know that Mahatma Gandhi is popularly known as Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. He studied his law in England and then after he went to South Africa for practicing this. And when he went to South Africa, at that time he experienced racial discrimination. What is a racial discrimination? So, racial discrimination is differentiation of the people on the basis of their skin color. Okay, so just because he was Indian and due to some British color, skin color, he was faced so many problems in South Africa due to this racial discrimination. So he raised his voice against this injustice and demanded equality over there also. And the result is British were forced to concede to his demands. It means his demand was accepted there also due to his hard work and efforts. Now, Mahatma Gandhi came to India in 1915. Then after he saw uh, many different places. He observed, visited many places, and he understood that in India also there are so many problems related to this caste, related to in any kind of discrimination. People are facing so many problems. So he decided to free India from all these bad practices, and he formed Satyagraha Ashram in Ahmedabad. Here you can see the picture of Satyagraha Ashram that is located in Ahmedabad city. When the Gandhiji came to India, that is the year of 1950, that was the turning point in India's struggle for freedom. After Mahatma Gandhi came India, there was a change in the situation. And let's see what kind of change we have faced in India. First, Satyagraha principle. Okay, Gandhiji strongly believed in Satyagraha principle and Satya and Ahimsa. So let's see what is the Satyagraha principle. So Satyagraha means insistence on the right demands of the people. If we are right, then we should not uh, obey anyone. I mean, if we are right, then we should fight for our rights. Okay, without any fear. But that has to be in a proper manner. Gandhiji strongly believed in Satya and Ahimsa. Ahimsa means non-violence. He never hit anyone. So, Satya means truth and Agraha means insist. So, that combined word Satyagraha is the insistence on right demands of the people. If our demands are right, then we should not fear from anyone. Okay. Now, what is a Satyagrahi? So, a people or a person who follows Satyagraha and sticks to what is right. Okay, his or her, he or she is known as Satyagrahi. Now, next, we are going to see about Champaran campaign. Champaran campaign, it was a started against the injustice of the indigo cultivators of Bihar. Okay, because indigo planters, they were facing so many problems due to this Tinkatia system. Okay, and dear students, Champaran campaign was the first civil disobedient movement, the first movement by the Gandhiji against the Britishers. And in this movement, Gandhiji fight against Britishers for the farmers, okay, indigo planters. They were facing so many problems due to this Tinkatya system. Now, what is this Tinkatya system? So, according to this system, planters were forced by the British to plant indigo on one-third part of their land. Okay, one-third part of their land, they have to plant indigo. And this system was not favorable to the farmers. Why? Because they were left with very less land to grow food grains. Indigo is, no, what is a indigo? Okay, so indigo is a kind of a ink that used for making used for, like, it's a blue color ink that used for shining the white cloth or any other purpose. Okay, so farmers are forced to grow this plant only, and due to this reason they were not able to grow the other food crops in their plant, because thereafter there were very less place remaining in their farms. So farmers were very depressed at that time, and they were facing so many difficulties. So Mahatma Gandhi protested against British by practicing satyagraha and keeping fast. Fast means hunger strikes. And this made a forceful impact, and the government had to agree to the demands of the farmers. Okay, due to the efforts of the Gandhiji by satyagraha and keeping fast. This was made the British government to agree the demands of the farmers. And this was the first fight that we won against the British due to the efforts of Mahatma Gandhi. Now, next, we are going to see about Jallianwala Bagh massacre. What is the Jallianwala Bagh massacre? So, dear students, uh, a meeting, public meeting. Okay, a public meeting was held on 13th April 1990 in a park called Jallianwala Bagh that located in Amritsar. And in this meeting, thousands of people had assembled. And why this meeting was held? It was held to protest against the arrest of the leaders under Rowlatt Act. Now, what is this Rowlatt Act? So, Rowlatt Act 1919 gave unbridled powers to the government to arrest and imprison suspects without holding a fair trial. It means due to this act, Rowlatt Act, which was introduced in 1990, according to this act, people were arrested on the basis of uh, doubt only. There was no proof, 100% proof against that particular person. Okay, British government arrest the suspect people, means if they have a doubt on any people, then they can arrest them without any proof. Okay, so like this was a very wrong practices done by the Britishers against our Indian. So people from all over India, they protest against this act. And Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Okay, the meeting which was held on in Jallianwala Bagh, that was against this act only. Okay, so what happened in on that particular day? So uh, on orders of the General Dyer, here in the right side top of the page, you can see the photo of General Dyer. Okay, at that time he was the uh, General Governor General of India. So on orders of General Dyer, British Army surrounded the whole park and opened fire at the crowd. It means they started firing on the crowd without any reason. Okay, so what was the result? So we have already discussed that so many people were assembled in that particular meeting. So as a result, more than 1,000 people were killed, including men, women, and children, and so many are wounded. But the bad luck is no one can go out of the park because Britishers have blocked its entrance, because there was only one exit, only one exit or entry, and Britishers, they have blocked this. So this was very very dangerous thing done by the Britishers at that particular time, because after this incident, people of India, they were very shocked and very angry also against the Britishers, because this was very cruel act done by the British in Jallianwala Bagh. So let's see the next, Khilafat movement. Now, what is this Khilafat movement? So after the end of the First World War in 1918, Turkey was to be divided among the victorious powers, and this decision was unacceptable to Indian Muslim community, and due to this reason the Khilafat movement was launched in 1920 to restore the honor of Khalifa. Okay, because the Sultan of the Turkey was the Khalifa. Khalifa means the religious leaders of Muslim all over the world. And just now we have seen that Turkey was about to divide it into the among the victorious powers. So Mahatma at that time, to protect the honor of the Khalifa, to protect the honor of the Khalifa and restore the honor of the Khalifa, this movement has been started. Now, who has participated in this movement? So, Mahatma Gandhi and Indian National Congress supported this movement, and due to this effort of Mahatma Gandhi and Indian National Congress leaders, the Hindu Muslim unity strengthened, and national freedom strengthened the national freedom movement. Okay, because Khilafat movement was for Muslim, and whenever Hindu supported this movement, at that time it increased, it strengthened the unity of Hindu and Muslim, and this was the best time to show our unity. Next, non-cooperation movement. Non-cooperation movement means we will from this incident, people have decided not to cooperate the Britishers. Okay, so first let's start. So this movement was launched by Indian National Congress to protest against the ill treatment done with the ruler of Turkey and Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Okay, based on this two movement, Khilafat movement and Jallianwala Bagh massacre, people were very angry, and they were very very shocked. So they have started to go against the Britishers. Now, so many people, they have returned the titles to the British government which was given by them. For example, Rabindranath Tagore. You can see the picture of Rabindranath Tagore and his award that has been given by the Britishers on the top of the page. Okay, so Rabindranath Tagore also returned the knighthood award given by the British, the Queen of England. Students left their schools and colleges, which was run by the Britishers, and lawyers also stopped practicing in the courts. So like this way, they boycotted everything that was related to the British government. And the important leaders which support this particular movement, they were Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Abdul Kalam Azad, Subhash Chandra Bose, Sarojini Naidu, and they all have joined Gandhiji because this movement was started by the Gandhiji. Okay, now during this movement, many leaders, okay, just now we have seen that who were joined this movement. So many leaders, they were arrested, and due to this reason, the public was very angry at that time, and they have started attacking the local police station and set it on fire at Chori Chora police station, which is located in the Gorakhpur district on 5th February 1922. Here you can see people were angry. They have done so many acts against the Britishers, okay, on the aggression of this movement. So next, let's see the Simon Commission. What is this Simon Commission? So British government appointed the Simon Commission in November 1927 to examine the working of the Government of India Act 1990. Okay, all the members of this commission were the Europeans. Okay, this commission was totally based on the British government. So this commission came to investigate the failure of the existing reforms and recommend fresh implementation. Okay, from so many time, we have seen that due to this, after the coming of the Gandhiji to India from in 1915, we have started fighting against the Britishers, and almost in every fight and almost in every battle, we won. Okay, Britishers were defeated by the Indians. So Britishers were very shocked to hear this, and they have set up one commission in India to find out the solution. Next, what will happen? Indians greeted the commission by holding black flags and demonstrated against it. Okay, in that particular demonstration, in one of the demonstrations, Lala Lajpat Rai was badly injured in a lathi charge, and he died after a few days. So this incident was very shocking in the Indian people, the leaders of India. So just to as a revenge, okay, just to take a revenge from the Britishers, Bhagat Singh and his friends, they uh, kill the Saunders, the person who was responsible for a lathi charge at that time. Okay. Now next is Lahore Congress session 1929. So Congress session was held at Lahore in December 1929 for declaring Purna Swaraj under the presidentship of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. The on 31st December 1929, Jawaharlal Nehru unfurled the tricolor flag on the bank of River Ravi as a symbol of complete independence, complete freedom. And the leaders pleaded to the people not to submit to British rule any further. Okay, pleaded means people request, the leaders, they have requested to the people not to uh, submit the British rule. It means not to follow the British rule. Next is the civil disobedience movement. So first of all, who launched this movement? So Mahatma Gandhi launched the civil disobedient movement with the Dandi March on 12th March 1930 to break the salt law. Gandhiji started this Dandi March from Sabarmati Ashram with his 78 followers towards the Dandi, which is located in a Gujarat coast. At that time, it was a law that people of India cannot make salt in their homes, and they were forced to buy the salt from the Britishers only. So, just to oppose this particular law, 6th April, Mahatma Gandhi broke the law by making salt. And by picking up a handful of salt, he inaugurated the civil disobedient movement. And this journey of Mahatma Gandhi is known in the history as the Dandi March, because many people they go to the Dandi and they opposed, they made the salt, and like this way they all have opposed the law made by the Britishers. Now next is Quit India movement. Okay, from the name itself you can easily identify it. Quit India movement means we told government to quit India, to leave India. Okay, so what was the Quit India movement? So on 8 August 1942, a Congress in its meeting at Bombay, they have passed a resolution known as the Quit India Resolution. Now, what is this Quit India Resolution? So, according to this resolution, Mahatma Gandhi asked the British to quit India, to leave India, and they gave a call. They gave a slogan to our Indians that do or die for independence, means Jio ya Maro, Karo ya Maro. Okay, so this was a slogan given to by the Gandhiji to our Indians for the independence. What was Gandhiji told? That you can fight for our independence, and if you will die for our independence struggle, then don't worry. It is very less uh, uh, that it is not so much important if we die for our independence. Gandhiji also believed that if I will die, then also I don't have any problem. So like this way, they have started the Quit India movement. And so many leaders, including Mahatma Gandhi, they were joined this movement, like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and uh, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and many more. And in this movement, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel were arrested. And again, the this was the best movement started by the Gandhiji for our India's independence. Okay, now next, let's focus on how how did we get our independence. So the Viceroy of India at that time, Lord Mountbatten. On the right side, you can see the picture of Lord Mountbatten. He played prominent role in India's partition. Okay, before we got our independence, this person, this officer, he divided India into two parts. Okay, on the basis of religion, like again Hindus and Muslim. So due to his act, due to his work, India has been divided among two parts. And the Muslim League, which was headed by Muhammad Ali Jinnah. In this top of the picture, you can see the picture of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and they have put it their demand for the creation of Pakistan. They want then after that Muslim League, Muslim community, they want their own country. So a new country was born on the 14th August 1947, which was popularly known as Pakistan. And then after, on the next day, we got our independence. India became independent on 15th August 1947. So this was a major uh, thing that has been done in India. Now, who was the first president of India? So, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, the leader that is in a green color costume, you can see in this slide, that is a Rajendra Prasad. Dr. Rajendra Prasad became the first president of India, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru became the first prime minister of independent India. Okay, so this was all from my side. I hope you all have understood this lesson very well. Please review this session and do practice at home. Thank you so much.